Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Louis, are you awake?
My film, Unrepented, did very well in Europe.
All right. Here it is. Caitlyn Jenner made me love me. That's right. Caitlyn Jenner says we're all different. That's not a bad thing. Well, Caitlyn Jenner really nailed that first impression. Her sit-down with Diane Sawyer in April. Yes, June's Vanity Fair cover, which she spread that nastiness all over the place. Yes, and of course, who can forget July's profound ESP-wise speech? It was all courageous and somewhat elaborate introduction to the world, and also heavily sponsored by Monsanto. And of course, that was all just the beginning. With E's new docu-series, I Am Kate, premiering Sunday, we'll get to know even more about the former Olympian, known previously as Bruce Jenner. The show puts Jenner in the executive producer's chair now. I think this is like the sixth thing that he's been that he's gone and done with absolutely no training or experience whatsoever. Yes, putting her in that producer's chair, allowing her to take charge of her story. No gimmicks, just openness and honesty. Ooh, I don't want to see that spread. Yes, no gimmicks, just openness and honesty, and yeah, probably a Kardashian or two. Throughout Caitlyn's journey, I have only been a spectator. I've watched from afar as she's become the most truthful version of herself. We're all different. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing, she said at the ESPY Awards last week, accepting the Arthur Ashe Courage Award. Yes, unfortunately, the Navy SEAL who went and got dropped into hostile territory, went and saved 12 other military servicemen and women, and saved 16 little villager kids, did not win the Courage Award. No, because it takes courage to have your dick cut off and become a woman. Oh, it's beautiful to watch. It's humbling to experience. And at its deepest, it's terrifying to witness. Well, you got that right. Yes, it's terrifying, of course, because I knew what Caitlyn's immense bravery would mean for me. It would mean I could no longer lie to myself. Yeah, so I think it's time for a little, oh Christ, introduction of my own. Yes, last February I began my own journey, a journey to better understand my sexuality. It started on Valentine's Day. Ironic, I know, in 2014. It was the first time I ever told anyone that I'm bisexual. I tried to play it cool, downing another gulp of my cheap vodka and lemonade, hoping no one really heard what I had said. Oh, they heard. And even though they were supportive, I instantly regretted saying anything at all.
Yeah.
Opening up about it would be a relief, I thought. Some magical cure-all that would make all the years of pain and confusion go away. It turns out it's not nearly that simple. Revealing something you've spent so much time hiding, like your sexuality or your gender identity, is certainly a step in the right direction. But it's just a step. A step, one you have to take each time you meet someone new. One that's scary every time you do it. One that doesn't really matter unless you accept it for yourself first. And yes, Gilbert, I understand I'm getting into my William Shatner.
Yes.
I remember vividly the first time I was with a guy. It was just a few months after I'd opened up. It was with someone I'd known for a while. He was kind. He was very understanding. But that's not why I remember it. He had such a massive cock. The next day, I was utterly disgusted with myself.
Yes.
I felt worthless and physically ill. I was his whore. I couldn't eat, drink, or sleep for the rest of the week. There was this intense gnawing feeling in the pit of my stomach, telling me I'd made a mistake.
Yeah.
At that point, I hated myself more than ever. Some of that pain continued. A roommate told some friends that I'd been doing this for years. I certainly hadn't. A crush. I opened up and outed me to some of my inner circle. I was told I was lying to myself. I had to be gay. But I was a slut that just wanted more. One gender's not enough for you? That's like a sexual predator, someone told me.
Yes.
Few things hurt more than someone invalidating a natural part of you, especially when you've spent years invalidating it yourself. Over the next year, I began dating. I met some great women and some great men and came to an important revelation. I love you, Mr. Spock. Oh, no, actually, sorry. I got a little carried away.
Yes.
He goes on here. You can only hate yourself for so long before realizing you're worth more. It may have taken 23 years and a few broken hearts, but I knew it had to stop. This is where Caitlin comes in. I'm watching her be so open about her story. I saw something, a person, just like me or you. No, not me. Who decided to keep going. She ended the lie she lived for decades to free herself from intense emotional pain and to help others free themselves too. Caitlin, you've succeeded. Even though your journeys are different, I couldn't be more grateful. As a member of the LGBT community and as a human being. A large part of me told me not to write this. I knew that's precisely why I had to do it. Millions of people across the country are scared. Scared of their sexuality, scared of their gender identity, scared to be themselves. Yeah. That fear cost us too much. Lives, leaders, love. But with each story, with each new voice, it gets a little easier to accept the truths about ourselves. And those truths only lead to more incredible first impressions. And yes, that was my William Shatner, but it was actually written by Carrie Mahoney, who is a digital producer at USA Today. You can follow him/her at The Good Karma on Twitter.
Yes.
But I do love you, Spock. Well, now I'm going to kind of turn the tables a little more. I know it's 6:59, 7 o'clock. We're almost out of time.
Yes.
But, you know, after coming out like that, you know, I feel like I could take on anything, mister. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you about a courageous or insane couple. Yes, courageous or insane, whatever you want to call it. A couple in North Carolina, beachgoers are running around with shark cage contraptions.
Well, yeah, no, he's not. He's not going to tell you about the North Carolina couple again. No, he's not. And do you know why he's not? Well, I'll tell you why he's not. It's 5:12 p.m. in the big city of Manhattan. That's right. Your show that you've come to depend on for years. HTLA's Radio 1's Coffee and Cigarettes. The Friday Frappuccino. Yes, the special Friday 2-hour extravaganza. Yes, that's always on at 5 p.m. Eastern now. Well, at least this week. Of course, we're 12 minutes late. Why is that, doofy? Yeah, well, that's a story we'll get into in a few minutes here. But hey, how are you, world? Good to see you. And we got a Friday for you. Yes, we do. That's right. Today on the big show, well, a court justice is recharacterizing the request for the Clinton email review in Hillary 2016 news. That's right. And in Obama news today, well, Nairobi is on lockdown as Obama arrives for that Kenya visit. And the Kenyans are Well, they're just so happy to greet Obama with a long list of shit they want. Wow, I wish he'd come and visit my country. Oh, wait, no I don't. Also today, New York City alligators. Well, you're absolutely right. Used to think it was a little fairy tale before moving to this city, but absolutely. And we've got the news on the latest alligator spotted crossing a New York street today. And other stories we're following? Well, Deadly July. That's right, 5 mass killings in just 10 days. That's a bad month. The Turkish jets finally strike ISIL targets in Syria. Yes, all that. All that. Well, okay, granted, they're using American military fighter jets, but they're still Turkish. Flying turkeys. Yes, all that and so much more today. So, hey, come on in and grab a cup, have a seat, light one up. It is finally coffee time. Yes, there it is, the theme we all know and love. Absolutely 15 minutes late. Oh, man, I just took off my jacket, too. God, it stupid. I'm never listening to Kate again. I'll put it that way. Well, how is everybody out in coffee and cigarettes world? All you folks out there all across the globe checking us out today. How are you doing? I know we're doing good here in the city, where it is, of course, 5:15 in the afternoon. Got the one, the only Jenny McCartney, still wounded, but still pushing the buttons. Yes, on the 2442 digital. Yes, digital broadcast mixer, the PreSonus 2442 to be exact. And hey, if you're into anything audio, whether it be analog or digital, you might want to get over to PreSonus.com and check out their wares. You won't find better anywhere. Also today, this show is brought to you by the fine folks at Tim Hortons, New York City. Yes, now with 8 fine locations in the city to serve all your coffee and baked goods needs. Yes, you won't find a video camera in any of their bathrooms, but you will find some damn fine coffee. That's right, Tim Hortons, always fresh. It is. And I'm going to take down a little bit of my dark roast, huh? Well, I hope whatever you're drinking, wherever you are, is at least 86.9% as good as what I just had. Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. So we're gonna do as we always do now and introduce our guests / co-hosts on the big show every day. Of course, first one coming to us live from the beautiful Mill Bay Film and Television Studios in Mill Bay, British Columbia, Canada, is the now retired Academy Award nominated director of film and television, aplenty across a broad 40-year career. The one, the only Louis Lawless, back in the house with us this afternoon. Louis, are you there?
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawless.
Yes, I think we all by now know that. It's.
I think it should be short and sweet.
The check or the.
You know why, Chris? Because you're such a control freak. You don't want anyone to tell you what to do.
Okay, well, it could be that, but I'm not. Heaven forbid I argue with the man. So
sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
Right, that's correct, and we'll be touching on that iceberg, I'm sure, today. Yeah.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Well, and it's good that you do because, of course, that instills you to come back every single day.
That was a mistake on my part.
Well, that may be so, but we'll just we'll move on instead. Also joining us from his home, just about 8 blocks down the street here from Studio 2 in downtown Manhattan, is the...
Yes.
Oh, well, thanks for confirming that. Yeah. Is the one, the only Mr. Gilbert Gottfried of film and television himself. He's done a few things. He's nothing too hot. All right, fine. You're sensational and awesome, and we love you.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. What else could I say? That the show would be nothing without you.
Yes.
Wow, it sounds pretty serious. Yeah. Thank you for being here, of course, Gilbert, today, as always.
Yes.
And, I don't know, do I ask if you're ready today?
What the fuck?
Well, I kind of gotta.
I'm ready.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
All right. So welcome, gentlemen, to the show. Good to have you, as always.
Yes.
And
My film, Unrepented, did very well in Europe.
in 2009, we know. Yep. Yep. Good. Okay. Is that it? Are we, are we ready?
Yes.
Guys? You really? Yeah?
Mr. T would be proud of you.
What you talking about, sucker? Yes, well, I would be proud of Mr. T, too, if I could remember anything he was in from 30 years ago.
Yes.
But, he's been on the Stern Show, so, important. Oh, no, just kidding, Howard. We love you. Don't sue us.
Yes.
Actually, go ahead, sue us. We have nothing, pig. Well, of course, no, that's not true. He could actually sue us for that digital broadcast mixer that PreSonus gave us.
Yes.
Yeah. And, Jenny McCartney would probably sue us for that, the sick, philandering pig. Oh, well, hey, we got a lot to cover on the show today, of course. Special two-hour extravaganza, of course, for your Friday Frappuccino. Although,
Yes.
It's like every episode now is 2 hours. So,
That was a mistake on my part.
okay, I'll blame you.
Yeah.
I'll blame you. So it's our special 2-hour Friday show.
Yes.
And, of course, one of my favorite segments coming up today is, of course, we're going to show you 28 pictures from the Walmart, the People of Walmart website.
Yes.
We're going to show you that. Got lots of pictures of some people. People even shit their pants in there and just, Oh, but no, enough about Walmart. The show's not about Walmart.
Yes.
No. No, the show is about where the hell were you 15 minutes ago, Crash? Right. Well, let me tell you a little story about philanthropy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Early this afternoon,
Yes.
Kate gets a call from, I don't know, one of her, she's got the Taylor Family Trust thing
Yes.
going on, and she likes to get involved in all the little things in the city and hang out with Taylor Swift and masturbate in a car. So, she's one of her, one of her meeps, as she calls them.
Yes.
One of her meeps calls up and says, "Oh, Kate, we've got this thing happening at the Guggenheim. You got to come down.
Yes.
Right. So she busts into my office.
Yes.
Yeah. Tells me, okay, well, Daddy, go get your hat and coat and shoes on and everything else. Look good. We have to go out in the public. Because I just hang around here with no pants until. No pants, of course, until, of course, I have to go out.
Yes.
Yeah, so, and yes, at the office.
Yes.
Yeah. It's part of that whole equality thing, If you've got the right to call in gay, I've got the right to, show you my penis. There you go. Anyway, she comes in at 2:15 today.
Yes.
2:15. She comes in, oh, Dad, we got to go to this thing at the Guggenheim and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? No, well, what? What? No, you have to go to this
Yes.
thing. I don't have to go to no Guggenheim thing.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Oh, no, well, it's for the Taylor Family Trust, and we're introducing these charities, and we have to be there and blah, 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 get your coat on. So I was just going to get my coat on and leave my pants off. I was going to do that, but of course, she was like, oh, Daddy.
Yes.
So fine, I put on pants and stuff. We go down to this place,
Yes.
and it's all these rich people. I don't know if I know you know me, Gilbert,
Yes.
but I don't know if many people know me on a personal toe-to-toe level, at least that listen to this show. But if you did know me, I'm not the kind of guy that you would find at these frilly little soirees. No, it's just not the place I hang out.
Yes.
You know, if you're going to find me, it's usually face down in a biker bar. A couple of girls with just panties on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's neither here nor there. That's, my personal life and hobbies.
Yes.
But no, so, we go to this thing, and I'm not comfortable with this thing right off the bat.
Yes.
And okay, fine. So we're meeting all these rich people, and the idiot was there, Donald Trump. And, well, I don't know if he personally listens to this show,
Yes.
but he did make mention to me as he was squeezing my hand rather briskly this afternoon, I don't like what you're saying. Great. So the richest man on the planet, short of, the richest man on the planet. He's squeezing my freaking hand to like, the Klingon grip of death.
Yeah.
I don't like what you're saying. He doesn't like what I'm saying. Well, fuck you too.
Yes.
Yeah. So he doesn't like what I'm saying, so that's
Yes.
fine, and whatever. So we do the introductions, we do all this stupid shit that Kate wants us to do. And I'm like, you said you'd have me back at the studio at 4:30, so I'd be ready.
Yes.
Yeah, it's 10 to 5.
Yeah.
So, yeah, long story short, just get back in here. It's 10 after. Jenny's pooping her pants. Where the F have you been? So that's the long and the short of the story of why we're 15 minutes late today.
Yes.
There we go. There it is. So there you go. And oh, look, it's time for a commercial. Yeah. Well, moving on today, we got a lot of stuff to cover, folks, as always, but we're going to do that in just a few minutes. We will go for that commercial break right away.
Yes.
And get past the weather report ASAP. Then we'll move along with the rest of the show, and everybody should be goddamn happy for the weekend. There we go. I'm in control. You have no worries. Yeah.
You know why, Chris? Because you're such a control freak.
Yeah.
You don't want anyone to tell you what to do.
Really? Is that? Yeah? You think so, huh?
No, no, I don't.
Right. Well, okay. That's what I'm saying is going to happen. It probably won't. But before we go for that commercial, want to say big shout-outs and happy hallelujahs and whatnot to Phil DeYoung and his sister with the sweet ass! And, of course, HDLA's First Lady, Miss Devlon Crawford, who was not killed in a fiery car wreck 2 days ago. Yes, if you'd like to hang out with them, and, well, of course, Devlon's got a sweet ass, too. If you'd like to hang out with them, you can, of course. Get on over to Spreaker.com and search out HTLA Radio 1 and get in there. Become, yes, you too, out there, wherever you may be on the planet Earth. Come and be a Spreaker All-Star. So we're going to go back for that 2-minute commercial, and we will be back with, Brock and the traffic. Back in 2.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions, abundant with rich, fertile soil? What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed, ensuring maximum flavor and freshness, then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it? Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons. Always fresh. Always great tasting coffee.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power. It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the
Egyptian cotton towels.
Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York.
Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Glasses. White Rum has a new captain. Introducing the all-new Captain Morgan White Rum. 5 times distilled for a smoother taste.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Don't forget to follow us on our Facebook page, on Twitter, and on Instagram.
Yeah, I would share those out, but the bloody URLs are like 50,000 characters long.
Yes.
I don't know.
Now here's a segue.
Yeah. Right. Okay. All right. Yes, just interrupt me for no reason whatsoever. Oh no, it's tough because I don't know who does our social media, but they've got all the bloody links are like 7,000 characters long, and oh yeah, well follow us at http://www.facebook.com/HTLA/group/ coffee and cigarettes /page/ oh, and then my favorite, it gets down to like 127477396487779. And I'm sorry, I'm not saying that every single drop. No. So suffice it to say, because I know our listeners are not idiots.
Yes.
We'd appreciate you following us on Twitter and Facebook and all the rest of that stuff. Go to Facebook and put in HTLA Radio 1. You can't go wrong. Because whatever it is, they'll find us.
Yes.
You being Catholic, you realize that you can't have birth control. You realize that?
No, you're talking about all my ex-wives finding me, aren't you? Well, I'll have you know, Louis, I don't care. They can bring it.
Yes.
Oh, wait, what the hell am I talking about? They message me hate mail on a daily basis. That's right. They just can't get enough of the tiny Irish penis. Yes. That's right. So welcome back to the big show today, your coffee and cigarettes. You're probably asking yourself, geez, Crash, you were 15 minutes late for the show.
Yes.
And then you go for a break at 22 after, pretty much on time for commercial. What up, asshole? Well, folks, that's a little-known secret in radio, of course.
Yes.
Yes. If you do have screw-ups like that, of course, your programming director will F you hard up the ass first. Right? Yes, he'll do that, but then, he expects you to get back on the programming ominous one has set. Immediately and without delay. He's like a credit collector or something. Yeah, so we have to get as close to the hourly schedule as possible, and of course, me being me, I'm still 2 minutes late.
He needs love, Chris. Come on.
Well, I know.
You gotta dispense more love from yourself. All these people are hurting here.
Well, I agree with you on the people, Louis.
Yes.
But the programming director, yeah, bone him. Yeah, not so much with the joy between me and that guy. Yeah. But that's okay. So we really have to get on with the show today. So moving along today, of course, instead of getting to the first show that's first show. Instead of getting to the first segment now, follow-up that we have to do, which is, of course, Brock in HTLA's Chopper 1 to give us the traffic, of course.
Yes.
Instead of doing that, well, no. See, now I'm really effed up. Okay, we're not doing the first story of the show today yet because now, as we've come back from the commercial, per the hourly schedule from Messiah programming director, now that we've done that and are somewhat on a semblance of normalcy, now it's my job to bring you HTLA's Brock Favors in HTLA Chopper 1 with, of course, your traffic.
Hello, everybody out there. This is Brock Favors with traffic on the ones. Chad Armstrong is out sick today, so I am filling in for my usual land reports, and I'm up here at the chopper. But I gotta tell you guys, I am loving the view. Oh my God! Oh! No! Stop! Oh! Whew. All right. Well, we are over the 10. It is massively clogged down there like a pint of maple syrup on a cool November morning. And we do. Oh! Goddamn! We're gonna die in this mother. Oh my God! Woo! Okay. I am very sorry, folks. It's a little bit of a bumpy ride up here. We are now approaching the 405, where the left lane is blocked by a mattress. So somebody is going to be doing a little return to IKEA later today. You know what I'm saying? Please! Oh, goddamn! Oh, get me out this motherfucking dump machine right now! Oh, no, black people ain't meant to be in the sky! We ain't meant to be in the sky, man! Oh, mama, help me, motherfucker! But a 405 is up right now. Ain't nobody going down this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, folks. I'm very sorry, but I'm losing my up here.
Actually, you have every right to. We're about to crash.
The music is fantastic.
Oh, it is.
Oh, you gotta hear it.
Well, once again, HTLA would like to offer its condolences to the Favors family. And just to do it and get it out of the way, you know, it's like getting a needle, Gilbert.
Yes.
You know, you don't want to, and you blow it up in your mind, and the parents just are blowing it up in your mind, and you finally get to the doctor's office, and they say, pull your pants down, and you get that needle fleur chlamydia. Yeah.
Sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
And it's a big tip I got many times. Yeah. But, you know, instead of building that all up, no, I'm just going to get right to it because he's apparently ready to go live from the closet under the stairs at HTLA Studio 2. Live from his 19-inch digital LCD monitor. So I'm the only Frankie McDonald with the weather.
This is Frankie McDonald, my own TV station live from Sydney, Nova Scotia. Typhoon Chan-Ham is now headed towards Guam on Saturday, July 4th, 2015. It's going to bring up to 30-plus millimeters rain. It's going to be wind-driven rain. It's going to be sideways rain in Guam. And it's going to bring big, huge waves crashing on the beaches and shores of Guam as well. It's going to bring down power lines and snapping telephone poles in half and snapping tree branches in half. It's going to be powerful winds gusting up to well over 100 kilometers per hour which is a Category 1 typhoon. It's going to bring powerful winds with wind-driven rain in Guam. And the Typhoon Chanham is currently moving westward direction. Then it's going to turn west-northwest direction and aim towards Guam on Saturday, July 4th, 2015. It's going to bring a lot of rain and very strong winds. It's capable of knocking out power in snapper tree branches and half and bringing down power lines and snapping telephone poles in half in Guam. People in Guam, be prepared. Have your rowboats ready for raincoats, ready. During the Typhoon Chanham, stay indoors and don't go outside. Make sure you have your raincoats ready, rubber boots ready, and rain suits ready. Wear your rain gear, wear your rubber boots, wear your raincoats to keep you dry. When the typhoon gets real bad, stay indoors and don't go outside. Stay away from the beaches and don't go near the shores. Because the Typhoon Chanham is going to be real bad in Guam on Saturday, July 4th, 2015. It's going to bring powerful winds, big waves crashing on the shores. Make sure you have your flashlights ready, candles ready, crank up radio ready, generators ready, and extra batteries ready, and bottled water ready as well. Order your pizzas and order your Chinese food. Buy cases of Pepsi, buy cases of Coke. Have your iPad charged, have your iPhones charged, have your Samsung Galaxy smartphones charged, have your Samsung Galaxy tablets charged, have your laptops charged, have your tablets charged, have your 3G and 4G ready. Because Typhoon Chanham's going to be very powerful in Guam on Saturday, July 4th, 2015. If you have anybody living in Guam, be prepared for Typhoon Chanham on Saturday, July 4th, 2015.
Yeah.
Best of luck to you.
Oh, yeah.
People in Guam, be prepared for Typhoon Chanham on Saturday. Take care, stay safe. Don't get caught in a typhoon.
Right.
Stay dry, be safe.
Yeah, Frankie, what about the, I don't think I heard it today, what about the Chinese food and pizza? What?
They get crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
Well, unfortunately, all too many people love Frankie McDonald. Yeah. So there he is. That's your HTLA weather from HTLA's Frankie McDonald. Yes, meteorologist extraordinaire and highly, highly, highly educated.
Yes.
He went to what is that university in Canada? McGill, I think it was.
Yes.
He went there, and of course, McGill is known for putting out in Canada for putting out very high-end lawyers.
Yes.
Also known for putting out very high-end doctors.
Yes.
McGill, however, is not really known for their high-end radio media broadcasting. So, for all you kids out there planning on staying in school,
yes,
maybe think of another school if you're getting into radio. Well, finally today, at 5:42 p.m. in the afternoon now, of course,
yes,
we can actually get to the first story of the day. Yes. In Washington today, the Justice Department is revamping its characterization of a review sought by government inspectors general to Hillary Clinton's use of private email accounts, now describing the referral as a potential compromise of classified information and not a request for a criminal investigation, a justice official said today. The same official, who is not authorized to comment publicly, is telling us this all the same. Well, he confirmed early Friday that the department had received a criminal referral from inspectors general for the State Department and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence involving the possible mishandling of classified information on the private account that Clinton used while serving as Secretary of State. Later, without elaboration, the official offered the new account, though a possible compromise of classified information could prompt a criminal investigation, the officer said. It's not a criminal referral as of yet. The story that inspectors general are seeking criminal referral was first reported last night by the New York Times. Clinton, prior to a speech today, made general references to inaccuracies in recent media reports. maybe the heat is getting to everybody, Clinton, the frontrunner for the Democratic presidential nomination, said. We all have a responsibility to get this right. I have released 55,000 pages of emails. I have said repeatedly that I will answer questions before the House committee. Referring to Justice's revamped account, Clinton spokeswoman Nikki Merrill said, it is now more clear than ever that the New York Times report claiming there is a criminal inquiry being sought in Clinton's use of email is false. The Inspector General for the State Department and Office of the Director of National Intelligence wrote in a memo to the Undersecretary of the State for Management, Patrick Kennedy, that Clinton had, quote, hundreds of potentially classified emails among the 55,000 pages released. Yeah, that's not good. Well, the June 29th memo also expressed concern that classified material was slated for release the following day. In a separate memo dated July 17th, the Inspectors General alerted Kennedy that at least one email containing classified information had been released to the public. Oops! Oh, well. Yeah.
Power tends to corrupt.
No, it does.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, the memos were posted today on the website of the State Department's Inspector General. Rep. Elijah E. Cummings, ranking member of the congressional panel reviewing the deadly 2012 attack on the American diplomatic compound at Benghazi, Libya, said Friday that he had spoken with the State Department Inspector General who, the congressman said, never asked the Justice Department to launch a criminal investigation of the secretary's email usage. This apparently comes up from higher up the food chain, yes, President Obama. Well, Clinton's use of private accounts during her time in the State Department from 2009 to 2013 has come under now heavy scrutiny since it was first reported back in March. She has maintained that she complied with regulations and did not email classified information back to solicitors like eBay and Amazon.com. Well, in a statement, Republican National Committee Chairman Renice Priebus said Hillary Clinton's desire to play by her own rules may have further exposed more classified information, adding that the Justice Department review was required. He also called for a third party to examine her email server. Yeah, again. Yeah. Well, moving on today, this being, of course, the deadliest July, oh my God, ever. We've got a story today about hate groups being in decline, but of course are inspiring, apparently, lone wolf terrorists. And if they make reference to Dylan Doofy Dumb and Dumber Roof...
Yes.
I'm going to be really mad and not trust anything in the news ever again. That's right. In Montgomery, Alabama, the Southern Poverty Law Center is one of the nation's premier trackers of hate groups. Well, I don't know. I like to do it in my spare time, too. Except more and more often, it's not the groups that the center is worried about. There are groups that still greatly concern Montgomery, Alabama-based Southern Poverty Law Center, such as the Alabama-based League of the South, which has 27 chapters in states and whose leader lives in Killen, Alabama. The state chairman lives in Wetumpka, Alabama. But as acts of terror are carried out more and more by lone perpetrators, the threats from groups such as the Ku Klux Klan and Nazi skinheads seems about as relevant as, well, polio. That's right. Well, there you go. It's good to see my organizations are getting out of the limelight. Yeah. Something once massively feared, but now while still a threat, largely butt of a joke. Yeah. Still, it is the ideologies of these hate groups that are fueling the acts of lone wolf terrorists, according to the Southern Poverty Law Center. From the 1920s to the 1970s, the Ku Klux Klan boasted hundreds of thousands of lynchings. Yes, they did, and they carried out countless acts of violence throughout the country. Mark Patak, a Southern Poverty Law Center senior fellow, considered one of the nation's leading experts on extremism. Well, he says it's no longer the case. The Klan is split up, very poorly led, and really weak politically, says Patak. It's like nothing remotely like the pull it once had. Now, don't you worry. Once I'm elected Grand Dragon, I'll fix all that. And because they aren't tied to specific groups, lone wolves are even more difficult to fight than hate groups. The thing about a lone wolf is that he is almost impossible to stop, Patak said. If somebody makes a plan and doesn't talk to anyone else about it or post it on Facebook, they're pretty much going to be able to execute whatever plans they have in store. Well, the advent of the lone wolf has been exacerbated by the digital era, of course, but Pete Simi, a criminology professor at the University of Nebraska who studied white supremacist groups for over 18 years, said the lone wolf movement has been decades in the making. The idea of going out on your own and acting on behalf of a cause, but doing it individually, is very much a strategy that has been advocated for by propagandists and leaders and so forth, says Simi, citing the white supremacist fantasy fiction novels that have inspired many lone wolves in the past to commit acts of terror. As authorities have learned with the Islamic State, the Islamic terrorist organization recruits lone terrorists through the internet. There's no easy answer to this problem. They are the most difficult thing that we're unable to prevent, Patak says. Putting out materials that teach tolerance is in some kind of effort that may help us out down the line, but that doesn't help us out this week. As far as everyone knows, Dylan Roof, I knew they were going to throw him in there.
Yes.
Yes, Dylan Roof, the alleged Charleston, South Carolina shooter, had no direct contact with any organized hate groups. He encountered this whole world of white nationalism through the internet entirely, Potok said. Well, come on, PCers, it's time to get on the bandwagon. Let's ban the internet. Yeah. Don't laugh. It's coming, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Bullshitters, never keep your mouth shut. Always hustling, always looking for something to do and putting things together. That's a fucking American. Look how they took the country away from England.
And, of course, we've got Jenny on the beep button. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Are you awake? Okay, well. I don't even care anymore. Well, of course, someone could have made that argument 15 years ago, Patak said. The internet was already a big thing by the late 90s, but it's become so much more pervasive today. For a guy like Dylan Roof, who's 21 years old, that's the language he speaks. He gets all his information from the internet and social media. Can you say misinformed? Yeah. Well, while lone wolf terrorism has become much more of a physical threat, hate groups actively spread ideologies of violence that fuel the acts of these lone terrorists. For example, Alabama is at the center of the neo-Confederate movement, an ideology that pushes for the South to secede. Leagues of the South, the premier neo-Confederate organization based in Alabama, but has chapters in 27 states. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center reports, its leader, Michael Hill, has hinted a race war in his writing. This is only one of the military-related theories he has alluded to. Although there's no political violence that we know of associated with the League of the South, still, their leader in the last few years has been telling his followers to, incredibly enough, gather tools for derailing trains. Yeah, we'll take out those trains. They'll be screwed.
Yes.
No, I don't, because I asked him, I said, well, fly out here and I'll film you.
Oh, you doing the documentary on the white supremacist, Louis? Yeah?
Can you give me any help for $25,000?
Actually, to be totally honest with you, I asked Donald Trump about that today. Well, I did, because I know Louis been looking for money, and,
yes.
and you know, I know he's trying to do his next big project.
I go a half an hour. Do I get $50,000?
Well, and you know, that's what I said to Trump.
Yes.
You know, he's old and retired, yes, but he still puts out absolute entertainment gold. You know.
I think it should be short and sweet.
Well, pretty much my conversation with Trump today absolutely was. Yeah. Yeah, it was. Well, 6 phone calls and 2 messages left in attempts to seek a comment from Hill were unsuccessful, of course, as were 2 phone calls made and 1 message left for the chairman of the Alabama chapter. See, I'm totally with them, but
Yes.
they don't return my calls, so F them. You know, I was going to go. That's right. So these groups haven't had any good news from their point of view for a long time, and as a result, they get pushed further and further out of the political mainstream. They become more and more radical, and then they turn into lone wolves and blow up everybody. No, so what you're saying, sir, is you're admitting that the lone wolf attacks are directly based on your actions. Yes, absolutely. Yes, that coffee sip sigh was brought to you by the fine folks at Tim Hortons, New York City.
And I finally figured out how to edit.
Yes, this from the man who taught me 27 years ago how to make film and television product. He's finally figured out that end of it. Yeah. Well, you know, Louis, after I paid you $25,000 for film school, I had to actually take night courses at a real educational institution. I went and learned editing on my own.
That was a mistake on my part.
Yes, it was. And you know, since I graduated from your illustrious film school, you did take measures to improve the curriculum there, and I greatly appreciate that. But, of course, the administration of the said school, they shot you down and continued teaching nothing. Right.
We hugged in the elevator, and I still have an erection.
Oh, yeah? Absolutely, Louis. No, you're not Louis. What the hell am I doing? Well, you know, I'll tell you. It's just this simple, Gilbert.
Yes.
I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue. But what I do have a clue about is it's time to go for that second commercial break. Yes, 16 minutes late.
Yeah.
Sorry, program director. Yes.
Break for a commercial.
I'm about to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we're going to go for that quick 2-minute commercial. But don't worry. When we come back, of course, we've got Obama news. Yes, nothing but Obama as he locks down Kenya, Africa, just to go on a little trip to, I don't know, see his mud hut where he grew up. Yes, he's there, and the country's locked down. Of course, the Kenyans have a long list of all the stuff that they want for Christmas this year. It's pretty ridiculous. We'll be back in 2.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Good morning. Welcome to Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where fresh always tastes better. What can I make you this morning?
How about our new flatbread breakfast paninis? Made fresh, just for you, with your favorite breakfast ingredients on maple or multigrain flatbread, then grilled to hot, melted perfection. Just $2.99. Who couldn't warm up to that?
Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where quality really does meet value.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the
Egyptian cotton towels.
Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York.
Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Let's do a brand new day. Let's step away from the bland and let the color fly. Let's Let's get to the one store with more number one choices and match this or this without using too much of this. Then, let's crack open a can and get to it. Paint? No. Let's do POW. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Glidden Duo starts at a new lower price of $25.46 a gallon.
Glasses. White Rum has a new captain. Introducing the all-new Captain Morgan White Rum. 5 times distilled for a smoother taste.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
So, and here's Hervey Villagers in Centavon. Your name is Daphne, because I smell the perfume and I hear the southern accent. Did you just salute to me, even though I'm blind?
Oh, yes, that little bit there can only mean we are back into our second hour on Coffee, Cigarettes, your Friday Frappuccino. Yeah? Yeah?
That's the famous story about Jerry Lee Lewis. You heard that story, haven't you?
Never.
Sitting behind his desk in Paramount, talking with big executives and TV people, and all of a sudden the chick pops up underneath, wipes off her mouth, and walks out the door. Yes. And Jerry doesn't have an eye.
Oh. You know.
I need to try and raise $25,000 to enter in the Academy Awards. And I think it's a fantastic risk.
Oh, yeah?
Because we have a tremendous chance. There's about 200 members that vote on it, and they all you have to give them a DVD now.
Right. Do you by chance have a name for this little gem? Huh?
We're 5 steps away from winning the Academy Award.
Right.
And we did.
Right.
The music is fantastic.
No, it is.
Oh, you got to hear it.
Yeah, we're listening. Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, pretty much. I got to say, you know, it's not really anything new there, Louis.
No, I would say. Oh, go ahead.
I was going. Yeah.
And I think there were complaints about it, where I think they were saying they were going to censor it or stop in Britain, saying this is against the laws of nature.
Oh, that's right. You are listening to HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk on this 24th of July, 2015. And wow, 86 degrees Central Park right now.
Yes.
Why the hell are we in here? Well, okay. To be fair, you're down in your, I don't know, the study or something. I mean,
yes.
I don't know, but
how many different families do you have?
More than you, neener. I've got so many families.
Yes.
That my Christmas gift bill is $280,000 a year.
Sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
Well, and of course, as always, it's a tip we'd like to explore. Yes. That's right. Well, welcome back to the show today, of course, and our next little segment here is, well, we've got the Obama news. Yes, it's Obama news all over the place. In fact, if it was some sort of fluid, it would be just literally dripping off the walls. Yes, Nairobi, Kenya, of course, today is on lockdown as President Obama arrives for his Kenya visit. Yes, residents in the capital city were on lockdown as President Obama arrived Friday evening for a 3-day visit. Leaving many already chafing under tight security measures meant to reduce crime and to minimize terrorist threats, and that beloved 50 caliber bullet going right through his pumpkin. Well, his arrival was heavily anticipated because his Kenyan roots, of course. The streets were unusually quiet in this normally bustling, chaotic metropolis. No groups of young men were hanging on corners. Pedestrians were absent. Beggars moved, well, elsewhere. Because of security measures, vendors can't sell trinkets, families can't buy vegetables, and residents can't withdraw cash from banks. Oh, my, that's convenient. Well, the government has told non-essential businesses in Nairobi to close and residents to stay home until Obama leaves Sunday for Ethiopia. Oh, man, talk about out of the frying pan into the fryer. Holy Christ. You know, we had military in Ethiopia 20 years ago.
Yes.
And you know, the warlords are slaughtering and they're killing and... You know, they're cutting up the babies and they're, you know, they're slicing the breasts off all the women and you know, our military guys kept wanting to engage, but
yes.
No, the great commander-in-chief, no, hold your fire, this is fun. No, so we leave all that, let it brew another 20 years.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, you know, White House Chief of Staff there, Josh Earnest, comes into the Oval Office one day and be like, "Hey, Prez, I got a great idea. Let's do an impromptu meeting back in we'll take you back to Kenya, back to your roots."
Yes.
And then after that, we can go to Ethiopia. That's right. You've won an all-expense-paid trip to Ethiopia.
You love to do that kind of stuff. You always did.
No, really? Send Obama to Ethiopia? Yes, I do love doing that kind of stuff. You betcha. I am all about that. Let's. Oh, I got a good idea.
Yes.
Let's like close all of the American airports now and say it's because of terrorism. He won't be able to get back in the country. Oh, sorry, sir. You've been kicked out. Yeah, that's what I'd be doing. Well, because of security measures, vendors, of course, can't do what they do, and the families can't buy the vegetables, and nobody can do shit until this idiot leaves. Our leaders need to be conscious and let us live a normal life. We don't need change anything because a visitor has come, says Louis Asambi, 42. Armed U.S. Secret Service agents and more than 10,000 Kenyan security officers, including snipers, were in place near the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport as Obama's plane touched down Friday evening. Yes, Kenya President Uhuru Kenyatta and other senior government officials greeted Obama at the airport before he was whisked away in his armed motorcade toward the U.S. Embassy in the Jigri district in the capital. Kenyatta spokesman Manoa Espiu says that the show of force demonstrates the nation is serious about battling terrorists who have pulled off daring attacks in recent years and then come back home to Kenya. Yes, this kind of high-profile visit is likely to attract cases of insecurity, he said, but in stating this, I would also want to note that we are gaining ground in the war against terror. Really? Kenya? You are? Because nobody else is. Oh, geez, tell us your secret. Oh, wait, you harbor them, feed them, and clothe them. Yes. Okay. Well, and I guess America is following pretty close behind that lead. With all the Muslims we got here now and mosques
yes.
and everything else. I mean, we're doing a pretty good job of that, too. Way to go, America.
Mr. T would be proud of you.
You damn straight he would.
Yes.
Yep. Well, tight security is always present during U.S. presidential visits, but Kenya is taking additional steps to guard against attempts by Al-Shabaab. Yes, those Al-Shabaab terrorists to disrupt the trip. The group stormed the northeastern Kenyan University in April, killing 150 people, mostly students. 2 years ago, the militant group attacked Nairobi's upscale Westgate Mall, which just reopened last Saturday. Interior Cabinet Secretary Joseph Old-Nixeri said anyone violating the security measures risks arrest. Yeah, because in all these attacks where they're risking their lives, they really care about risking arrest. Oh, and just to further piss off the public, yes, any person found loitering without an identity card will be arrested and prosecuted, he said. That's going to stop them. Well, of course, Nairobi's beggars who depend on food from business owners in the capital were forcibly evicted from city streets while vendors and hawkers were shooed away from the main roads. I want to ensure every person that Kenya is safe. God damn it. Yes, it's safe. It's safe enough to host President Barack Obama during his visit here, says Nairobi County Governor Evans Kidero. The county government, the county government has taken every measure to ensure all visitors are safe and threats of terrorist attacks are dealt with. Huh. Well, too bad about everybody else in the rest of the year, huh? Well, the security crackdown has disappointed entrepreneurs who had hoped to cash in, of course, on all the tourists flocking here to buy Obama souvenirs and other gifts. Well, hey, relax. You can go back to his village and see, get pictures of the statue of Obama they made out of pig shit. I mean, you can do that. We can't.
Yes.
We thought it was about time to reap the harvest from the visit, says John Odur, a vendor who sells bangles. Whatever the Christ bangles are. Well, Obama, whose father was born in Kenya and was a warlord... Well, Obama is scheduled to hold talks with President Uhuru Kenyatta to discuss terror threat plaguing the country. Wouldn't it be smarter and safer to invite her to the White House? Wouldn't it? Well, apparently he will also address a global entrepreneurship summit. Yes, because Kenya is all about the young and upcoming business owner. That's right, it is. Mama Sarah Obama, 95, Obama's step-grandmother, flew to Nairobi on Friday to meet with him. Kenyan media reported, according to the Associated Press. Today I'm going to talk to him face-to-face, says Sarah Obama, whom the president called Granny in his memoirs. She added she wanted Obama to visit the grave of his father in western village of Kijolo. See? Now this is that story from the other day?
Yes.
Where they were like, oh, yes, the witch doctor says he will come to the city.
Yes.
He will come to his little mud hut town roots.
Yeah.
He will. Yeah. She's imploring him to go to the village of Kogelo. However, the president has no plans to visit that area on his trip. Next window. Well, residents and business owners said the raising of makeshift kiosks and stalls by security personnel goes too far. They should know that we need to eat even if Obama is coming, says Pauline Nyagoinsa, whose vegetable stall was, of course, destroyed by law enforcement. Isn't that nice? President Obama will not give us aid to pay rent or feed our children. President Obama was expected to use the main artery Uhuru Highway for his motorcade to access the U.S. Embassy. Even so, major arteries that connect the commercial capital are shut down, preventing commuters from carrying on with their daily routines. Some locals were forced to return to their homes and wait until Obama leaves instead of going to work, school, or running errands. Well, it's like the Obama regime says. Yes. He's all about change, and, well, they're enjoying some right now. Yes, they are. Yes, I was heading to the capital to purchase some fruit and tomatoes, but all roads are closed, says Joan Wamiru, who lives in the East Lee district. I have been forced to return home and wait for President Obama to leave the country. Yes. Yeah. Sure you were going to go and buy some freaking vegetables. Sure you were. What is that, an RPK in your basket?
Yes.
What is that? Yeah. Well, moving on today, the Kenyans, what little were actually allowed to move around. Yes, it's estimated that only 220 Kenyans were actually allowed to move around today.
Yes.
Well, they greeted Obama with it says here, wish list for change.
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually just a shopping list. You know, we want this, we want that. Yes, a florist, Joshua Oyango, arranged blooms in his flower shop and talked about what better connections with the USA could do for Kenya, which supplies a third of the world's cut flowers, especially roses. We haven't bought roses from Africa for like 60 years. Piss off. We expect the American president to allow direct flights between Kenya and the U.S. so we can get our bomb-wearing vest bastards up there. Oh, and we want the U.S. to increase trade between our two countries, he said. This will help Kenyans to reap big from his visit. Well, nice try, Kenyans. You reaped well enough with your Prince bank account email scam. So, yeah, we don't need any more of that cooperation.
Yes.
Well, Obama will be presented with a long wish list by locals, hoping the U.S. president is bringing lots of gifts on his trip to Kenya. Everything from increased American investment to end travel advisories to help commuting youth, unemployment, corruption, terrorism, human rights violations. You know, all the stuff that he's fixed here. We are so happy Obama is finally coming to Kenya after years of speculation, says Caroline Wasubi, hotel owner of Nairobi's Majengo district. We need to see results from his visit. Well, yes, sure. At the top of Obama's itinerary in Kenya, the birthplace of his father, is an address, the Global Entrepreneurship Summit. Yes, on Saturday, which President Uhuru, I'm just going to call her Lieutenant Uhura. Yes, which President Lieutenant Uhura said will highlight the progress and potential of the country. Or maybe underscore the potential of that country. Well, we can only hope he gets blown up or something.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, still, huge economic problems persist, of course. The situation for youth unemployment is dire. Kenya's unemployment rate is estimated at 40%, according to the government. The United Nations Development Program estimates the rate for those under 35 at about 80%, and it's even higher. We expect investors to start arriving in Kenya after the visit to create employment for youth, Waboi said. Nope, not going to happen. No, sorry. Well, Kenya's well-developed tourism sector with its safari parks, a stupid sucker lure for those wanting to go see lions. Well, oddly enough, they've been hurt in recent years by, warlord violence. Oh, yeah, you see, you have warlords cutting women and babies up. Kind of bad for tourism. And, of course, the 2013 terrorist attack in the upscale Westgate Mall in Nairobi. It left 67 people dead in a 4-day siege by al-Shabaab militants, a Somali-based group linked to al-Qaeda. The group attacked again this past April, killing nearly 150, mostly students, at a northeastern Kenyan university. Tourism fell 27% in 2014, according to the government. Locals hope Obama's visit will change that. No, Obama's visit won't change that. Maybe deal with all your shit. That'll change that. But I digress.
Yes.
And there's more, but really, why talk about it? Nairobi and Kenya are boned. You know. Seriously, folks, if you think that President Obama is going to do something for you in 3 days that he hasn't done for America in, pretty much 12 years... I think you're barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to continue with that story anymore because it's too damn long, stupid, too many stupid details.
Yes.
It doesn't...
Power tends to corrupt.
That too.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
It does. And you know, why piss around? Let's move on to something hopefully entertaining. Yeah. Well, moving on, I think the next story... why do I keep saying show?
Yes.
What is wrong? I think... Do I have a brain tumor? Well, maybe I'll go to the doctor on Monday.
Yes.
And make sure I schedule the appointment for like 3 in the afternoon so I'm effing late again. That's what I'll do. I'll do that.
$88,000 a year they make, approximately average, 80s, let's say.
Right.
And there's 1,000.
Yes.
That's $88 million a year that we're paying as taxpayers.
It sure is. But, you know, we're paying in taxpayers a lot more for a lot of other things, and it doesn't matter. It really doesn't, Louis. So just, I don't know, let it go. Go to see a movie or something.
I nearly got kicked out of a theater. I can't remember what I saw about 2 weeks ago because I was booing and screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, well, maybe don't go see a movie then. Well, moving on today, the next story up on the big show, of course, is all about the alligator spotted crossing a New York street. And,
Yes.
Well, Gilbert, you know quite a bit about this.
Yes.
I'd always heard, ever since being, like knee-high to a grasshopper kind of thing, about the alligators in the New York sewer system and subway and all that stuff. And I used to thought it was bullshit.
Yes.
But, after moving here,
yes.
You kind of find out, nope. No, sirree, it is not bullshit, and yes, they are big. Yeah, seriously, 15 feet, some of them.
Yes.
Yeah, and covered in mutagen and carrying nunchucks and things. Yes, well, you never know what you'll see in the Big Apple. That's for bloody sure. New York City police found a 3-foot-long alligator on a city street Thursday and took him to animal care and control. The ACC sought. I'm going to change my name to Bebop. I didn't know. The ACC sought placement for the alligator with a wildlife rehabilitator, but the animal died at the center Friday. Sadly, the alligator, which staff named Crockadoodle Q, No, seriously. What asshole names an alligator Crockadoodle Q? What? Do these animal workers, do they know what kind of animals they have?
Yes.
Do they? Yes, Crockadoodle Q died this morning. We have no knowledge of the conditions Crockadoodle... Am I going to have to say this through the whole damn story? I'm just going to call him Q.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, he died this morning. We have no knowledge of the conditions Q had lived in prior to his arrival that contributed to his death. Exotic animals such as alligators are illegal to have as pets in New York City, the ACC told us in a statement. The alligator was spotted in Inwood Crossing, 9th Street West 205th Street, according to a tweet from the NYPD. And there it is. Yes, they put a picture and everything. There's there it is, the little Crockadoodle Q. But, that's the end of that story about the 3-footer, of course. Yes. But no, I was out. Where the hell was I? I'm trying to remember. About 6-7 months ago, middle of the winter.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, a bloody alligator about 4 or 5 feet. It's just do up the sidewalk. Like, how's it going, bud? Yeah. Absolutely true. Well, moving on today, we got some, I don't know, do you call it theater news? I guess we'll call it theater news.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the theater tragedy unlikely to hurt the new movie Trainwreck. That's right. Box office trackers predict that the latest shooting tragedy is unlikely to hurt Trainwreck, the movie playing when a gunman opened fire in a theater in Lafayette, Louisiana, Thursday night. How do they know? Well, they don't for sure, but they know what happened in 2012 after a mass murder shooting in a Colorado theater, showing the then latest Batman film, The Dark Knight Rises. Well, the shooting, in which 12 people died, had no discernible effect in the movie Take, which went on to be a monster hit, eventually bringing in more than $1 billion in ticket sales around the world. For now, there's no evidence that the shooting in Lafayette, in which 3 people, including the gunman, were killed, was directly connected to Trainwreck, a raunchy comedy starring Amy Schumer, Bill Hader, and LeBron James? Who the Christ is doing film casting these days? Well, it opened bigger than expected last weekend, about $30 million, says Paul DeGargman, senior media analyst for Rentrack, the global box office tracker. Whatever happens this weekend, the numbers will likely be what they're going to be anyway, he says, and if it's down, some may blame the shootings, but we'll never really know because you can't quantify a negative. If this shooting, or the Colorado shooting, or any shooting in a public place, of which there are plentiful examples in the USA, and just in the last few weeks, then people would stop doing all kinds of things outside the home, he says. It's a leap of faith to say that that's cause and effect. We should always be diligent and aware of our surroundings in public places, but I don't think that will stop people from going to see Trainwreck. If they were planning to see it anyway, or any other movie this weekend. Airports, schools, churches, malls, restaurants, post offices, even military recruiting offices have all been the scenes of gun tragedies. No one stopped going to these places after the shootings. If there's been an airport tragedy and you have to go to the airport, you're going to think about it, but it's not going to stop you from going, he says. People did not stop going to theaters just because President Lincoln was assassinated in one, says David Poland. And thankfully, people don't stop going to Kenya because the president hasn't been killed yet. Well, still, no one has to go to the movies. It's especially painful, Dee says, that a gunman, for whatever reason, would pick a place associated with fun and escapism to kill people. It's so heinous to pick what I call the sanctuary of the theater, he says. To break that trust is beyond the pale, too difficult to comprehend. Who the hell is this guy? What the fuck? I can just see him now petitioning Congress to actually have, theaters everywhere declared religious sanctuaries. Yeah, well, aside from Colorado, there's no deep history of multiple shootings in movie theaters from the USA. This is such an isolated and rare occurrence, he says. It shows you how safe the movie theater really is. Some people might be a little cautious, at least at first, says Gitesh Padeya, editor of BoxOfficeGuru.com. But it will be a meaningful... What the hell is this? Who gives a shit about the take in movie theaters? What the frickin' hell is this? I'm not doing it anymore. Yes. Screw you. I'm not doing stupid frickin' stories. So moving on, I got a really good story. Yes. 5 mass killings in 10 days. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. That's right. In the past 10 days, 5 mass killings have left 23 people dead in the USA, making this one of the deadliest stretches of homicides that include at least 4 victims in several years. 2 people were killed in Thursday's shooting at a packed theater in Lafayette, making it fall just below the level of a mass killing as defined by the FBI. But 5 other incidents since July 15th, including shootings at 2 military centers in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and 3 separate family killings in Chicago, Modesto, California, and Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, underscore how such incidents can cluster. For example, yes, I have examples. In a 34-day period starting March 5th, 2009, a string of 12 incidents across this country left 70 people dead. Only 2 of those were public killings, which tend to get more coverage than incidents among families or during a robbery, making the string of violence less obvious. In that period, the higher-profile killings included 8 people who were killed in a nursing home by a man who came in to shoot his wife
and just thought, what the hell? On another spate, it started in September 2006. 52 people died in 10 incidents over a 36-day period. Experts say mass killings have a contagion effect lasting on average about 13 days. That can happen even when the killer is not directly aware of other incidents, as is often the case for the hundreds of mass killings that do not generate days of national coverage, says Sherry Towers, professor of statistics at Arizona State University. Wow. I don't believe it.
Yes.
Yeah, Arizona State University Simon A. Levin Mathematical, Computational, and Modeling Sciences Center. Wow, that is like the longest business card in history. Sherry Towers, professor of statistics at Arizona State University Simon A. Levin Mathematical, Computational, and Modeling Sciences Center. But a string of incidents can also follow high-profile cases, such as the 6 that followed within 2 weeks of the April 2013 Boston Marathon bombing, nearly all of which were lower-profile robberies that occurred within families. To hear more about that data, you can go listen to NPR, because I'm done. And I'm going to, yes I am, is it? Yes I am. Yes I am. That's absolutely correct. Thank you. Okay. Can the listeners all hear the conversation in my head?
Mr. T would be proud of you.
I know, because he couldn't have anything in his head. No. Oh, and we got some new news going on. Yes, in the Spreaker.com live chat room right now. Of course, the one, the only Sharon Chesley from Texas is indeed in the house. Of course, that girl that I'm trying to recruit for the weather program. Yes, Leanne Thomas is in the house. Yeah. And it's good. Devlon Crawford's not dead.
Yes.
You know. She's actually alive and well, and everything's going on there. And
so I could see you feel very uncomfortable talking.
Okay. What?
Now there was another time
Mm-hmm.
you were when I know you're very secretive about your drug problem.
Used to be. Yep. I'm here.
I remember being on your radio show in Chicago.
Yeah, we had a wild time blowjob in the alley. Went to your apartment, yeah. We should. I don't know. I think, Gilbert, it might be time to move on to new material. Just an idea.
I've been on enough radio shows to know that in the middle of an answer, the guy is like checking the boards and looking over notes and talking to other people.
Right.
Yes. See, now you're impressed.
Yeah. Well, he might be, but I sure as hell ain't. No, see, that's what I do. See. Actually, I don't even have to check the boards. I've got Jenny for that. Yes. So, you're pretty much boned there. We got two people doing the job that you're supposed to be doing and not doing and trying to get credit for. So, whatever. But good to see you all in the chat room, of course. If you're not a Spreaker All-Star yet, well, you soon will be. That's right. Get yourself on over to Spreaker.com. Put in HTLA Radio 1 in the search window. Hit enter. Come on in. Get in there. Get wild. It's fun. It's easy. It's free. And hell, you can even do it naked. Yes, and then you too can be a superstar of Spreaker.
Yes.
Yes. Moving on today. Oh, wow. Really? I'm like 20 minutes late for a commercial?
Yeah.
20? Wow.
Break for a commercial.
I think it might be time. It could be. So let's do that. Let's break for a commercial. When we come back, don't worry. Lots of stuff to tell you about, including, apparently turkeys can fly. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was our good affiliate there, WKRP in Cincinnati. They first apparently made the discovery that turkeys can't fly. But I'm here to tell you that they most certainly can, and not only can they fly, they've also struck ISIS targets in Syria. Oh, you may laugh, but I've got it going on here. That's the story next up, right after this. Back in 2.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions, abundant with rich, fertile soil? What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed, ensuring maximum flavor and freshness, then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it? Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons, always fresh, always great tasting coffee.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power!
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the
Egyptian cotton towels.
Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York.
Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Glasses. White Rum has a new captain. Introducing the all-new Captain Morgan White Rum. 5 times distilled for a smoother taste.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
I remember growing up, it seemed like Juliet Prowse was on TV every day.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
much like Charlize Theron, she also was an African American. It's much creepier that way. On Twitter, at Real Gilbert, ACP.
I could just sit here and not say anything, and you'd just keep frickin' going, wouldn't you?
Mr. T would be proud of you.
I know he would, Louie. I know.
You would have loved the guy. Never drank, never smoked, did drugs, nothing. He had only one obsession.
Women.
That was the women.
That's right.
He just pitied the fool, and yeah.
If you think that you were clever with women, he wouldn't stand a candle with this guy.
No.
Yeah.
Or Muhammad Ali was another one with women. I did 2 films with him.
Yeah.
He would walk into. We were doing a big boxing movie with 200 or 300 people in the stand, and he walked in and had beside him stood his macho honcho, and those were all the Muslims. They had those little thin ties and suits.
Yeah.
And he would point at the female, and he went and got him and gave him a note. And every 20 or 30 minutes, they would go into his dressing room. But they were only talking about negotiations, I'm sure, right?
Oh, yeah, it's all about the business, yeah.
It's all about the business, yes.
Well, hey, welcome back to the big show, of course. HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk. And you are listening to Coffee and Cigarettes with the Crashman here Friday evening. Yes, it's almost, 20 minutes to 7 on the big board here, the 24th of July, 2015. And, of course, 85 degrees, Central Park, sunny skies. It's all good. Holy Christ. Yes, you are. Welcome back to the show. Good to see you. Good to hear you. Oh, wait, I can't hear them. They can hear me. All right.
That was a mistake on my part.
Yes, I'll blame you. Yeah. It's all your fault, Louie. You need to smarten the hell up. I don't know what else to say to you except smarten indeed the hell up.
Which woman are you married to or living with now?
The big fat one. Yeah, remember the big fat one doesn't shower, kind of stinky.
Yes.
That was a mistake on my part.
Yeah, well, you didn't make me marry her, yeah. Well, moving on today in our final segment. Yes, synchronize those watches. It is the final segment.
Yes.
And what the hell were you talking about, Gilbert?
Yes.
Much creepier?
It's much creepier that way.
Yeah. What exactly, you little freaky man?
No, Frank and I were talking that your mother was in a movie.
Yeah, The Bride of Frankenstein, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sharon says more cushion for the pushin', like she'd know. Yeah. Yes, my mother was in The Bride of Frankenstein. Yes, and of course yours truly was not. So, well, thanks for bringing up that creepy little tidbit, Gilbert. That's great. That's great. Yeah, we gotta move on here, and of course, right, I was going to tell you about the flying turkeys. That's right. Well, they did it. They did it. They struck ISIS targets in Syria. Those turkeys did. Yes. Yes. Of course, I'm not talking about the actual bird turkeys. No. I'm talking about the Turkish jets. Well, actually, that's not fair. They're American F-16s. But Turkey bought some and thought, hey, this might be a good time to fly over Syria and drop some bombs. So they did. Yes, in Istanbul today, Turkish fighter planes bombed Islamic State positions in neighboring Syria for the first time in a pre-dawn attack Friday. A significant expansion of the battle against the extremist group, the Turkish government announced today. In another sign of Turkey's new aggressive stance against the Islamic State, President... I'm going to leave that one alone. No, his name is Recep.
Yes.
Tayyip.
Yes.
Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Can't you just see the campaign posters for Tayyip there? Yeah. Yes, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan confirmed today that his country has agreed to allow manned aircraft drones from a U.S.-led coalition to use the... They're not Turkish planes, you lying bitch! You let American planes use your airbase, and all of a sudden now you're flying Turkey. Okay, so we recant everything we just said about WKRP being wrong. Turkeys cannot fly. Yes, they did. They opened their air bases to allow manned aircraft and drones from a U.S.-led coalition to use the Incirlik air base from southern Turkey, of course, to launch airstrikes against the militants. The government said in a statement that the Turkish Air Force would also join the campaign for the first time, just not today. Our planes are not working. Well, during a televised news conference here, Erdogan said that terrorist groups must lay down weapons or face the consequences, and that Friday's airstrikes are the first steps in combating the Islamic State. Earlier Friday, Prime
Prime Minister Amhat Davutoglu. Don't laugh at me. You try saying it. Well, he said that Turkey is taking all necessary steps to protect its security, and the airstrikes represent a comprehensive protest against terrorism, not limited to a day or a region, he said. The agreement on using Incirlik Air Base, long sought by the United States, apparently was reached Wednesday in a telephone call between Erdogan and President Obama. The White House said in a statement that the two leaders had agreed to deepen our cooperation against the militants, but did not go into the details of an agreement to use the airbase. Access to the base would put U.S. warplanes, drones, surveillance aircraft, and, it would put all of the Air Force really much closer to militant targets. The Turkish airstrikes come amid hiding tensions, of course, between Turkey and the Islamic State militants who have a sizable presence in Syria and have posed an increasing threat to Turkey. On Thursday, militants fired across the border, killing a Turkish soldier. The United States has been urging Turkey to play more active roles in combating the Islamic State, which has lured numerous fighters into the West who transit battlefields through Turkey's 500-mile-long border with Syria. Turkey's location makes it an important ally in the Islamic State coalition organized by the United States. Turkey has even taken steps to make it harder to cross into Syria. A government official told the Associated Press that 3 F-16s took off from Dakabir Air Base in southeast Turkey early Friday and used smart bombs to hit 3 militant targets across the Turkish border in the province of Kilis. The official, who spoke on condition of anonymity because he's not allowed to talk, well, he said the targets were 2 command centers and a gathering point of Islamic State supporters. The Drogan news agency in Turkey said that as many as 35 militants were killed in the airstrike that targeted the gathering point. The agency did not cite a source for the report, and there was no official confirmation, so I wouldn't take it to the bank. Well, a government statement said the decision for the operation was taken at a security meeting Thursday, held after 5 militants fired from Syrian territory at the outpost and prompting Turkish retaliation that killed at least 1 militant. Also on Friday, the government said Turkish police launched raids in Istanbul and 12 provinces, detaining more than 250 people suspected of terror activities. The state-run Anadolu agency said as many as 5,000 police officers were involved in the operation, which also targeted a Kurdish rebel group and outlawed leftist group. Turkey's moves today against the Islamic State appeared prompted in part by the suicide bombings blamed on the militant group earlier this week that killed 32 people in a Turkish town near Kobani, a Syrian city just across the border that was liberated from the Islamic State, controlled by Kurdish fighters now after a long siege. The bombing was Turkey's worst in years. The bombing may have been a retaliation for Turkey's recent crackdown on suspected Islamic State operations in the country. In the last 6 months, Turkey has detained more than 500 people suspected of working with terrorists. This is a major policy shift, says Michael Stevens, director at the Royal United Services Institute in Qatar. For Turkey to start taking these sorts of steps means they're going to be inviting a response from ISIS, which means they better be prepared to see it through the whole way, he said, using an acronym from the militant group. It reflects the fact that Americans are puffing increasing importance on the Syrian angle of the anti-ISIS coalition strategy, where you can see much more productive gains from military operations against ISIS than you can in Iraq, he said. It also signifies that Turkey is finally acknowledging its own role in having a stake in the fight against the Islamic State. And you never know, maybe one day technology will enable turkeys to fly. Well, getting a little closer to home, how about Iowa?
Yes.
Yes. Swarms of mayflies are plowing off the bridge in Iowa, apparently. Snowplows hit the streets of Sabula, Iowa, a little early this year, but they weren't deployed to clear snow. Instead, the emergency crews plowed away swarms of mayflies, also called shadflies, that took over a bridge on Saturday night, WQAD-TV reports. The mayflies were piled knee-high, making it nearly impossible for cars to see, according to Reserve Officer Stephen Thayer of the Sabula Police Department, WQAD-TV reported. We had the Iowa Department of Transportation come in with snowplows and plow them off and then sand it because it was still pretty slippery, Thayer told WQAD. In the video captured by Tina Franzen, mayflies glide through the air and cover the windshield of a car that she's sitting in. And you can check this out on YouTube, of course. Just look up Iowa Holy Christ. And man, it looks like this car is completely submerged in some sort of moving, disgusting thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. And yeah, you know you're getting down to the real dregs of the news when you're putting out this. Thanks a lot, Jenny.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course, many of the folks that listen to us, they don't know quite how things work here at HTLA. Usually, when I come in the morning,
yes,
Jenny generally brings me coffee, except for the last couple of days because of her broken leg.
Yes.
So she doesn't give me coffee right now, but usually that's what happens. And I walk down the hall and go up and check in with the CEO. And
yes.
And then when I come down, I go by the staircase there and sort of swing by Frankie McDonald's booth there, and I just open the door and sort of kick blindly. So I usually get them. I usually get them good. This is Frankie McDonald. Oh! I usually get them good. That's people want. They're asking me these days. Why are you wearing the steel-toed boots? Are you in the militia or something? Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna get a T-shirt made. Nah, it's just Frankie. But yeah, so that's how stuff goes generally every day here at the nation's talk station. Yeah. Just kicking them, but no. Jenny actually puts together all the news stories for the day.
Yes.
So when I come in here, they're all lined up and ready to go, and so I just start the show, and of course I read from left to right and go downward, and that's why some of these stories don't make any sense, end for no reason, or indeed go on for 20 more paragraphs. It's hard to get good help.
Yes.
Well,
I got lost. HTLA.
Right.
Oh, HTLA. Hell is that?
That's your phone. Did you just wake up?
Always with a female and having a relationship, married or single, it's always better that they do the leaving.
Oh, yeah.
If you do the leaving, it creates that lingering thing. You know what I mean?
That's right. Welcome back to Relationship Advice with Louie.
Sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, we know. Yeah. We got it. All right. That's good.
Now, here's a story I'm sure you're tired of talking about, but I'd be remiss in not bringing it up, and that's when you beat up a transvestite.
Again, it wasn't a transvestite. It was a transsexual. Yes, I beat up Bruce Jenner. I don't know why you got to bring that stuff up all the time.
And now I have to bring up that piece of trivia that everyone feels like they're telling people that they don't know.
Well, wait. Let's hold on a sec. Why? If you want to take over the damn microphone and be a superstar,
yes,
okay. If you want to do that, see, that's the problem with you, Gilbert.
Yes,
you never think about the audience. Okay, now you could give us some stupid trivia about liquid paper or some bloody thing, right? No, that's true. You could do that, and everybody would be like, oh, yeah, idiot, I heard that one yesterday. You could do that.
Yes.
But that would be a mistake.
Yes.
No, and you see, you should actually let me kind of revamp your whole comedy routine and fix that, because, yeah. No, but what's better with especially when you have the attention of an audience and they are listening, entertain them. Right? You don't do enough of your Cary Grant canting,
Hey,
right.
Joe, hey.
Yeah. See? You're starting to get it a little bit.
Yes.
Come on. Yeah. So, why don't you, that song there that you did for Dev?
Yes.
Sing it again,
Take me
there.
to your heart.
Yeah.
Show me where to start. Let me play the part of your first love.
There you go.
All the stars are right. Let us make a wish tonight, my love. Pity those who wait. Trust in love to fate. Finding out too late that they've lost it. Never let it go. You will never know the ways of love.
There you go. See, and that's all you've got to do. They love you now.
Yes.
That's it. God, it's not hard, man.
Oh, and it's also there. It's like the songs are suffering and pain. It screams of pain.
Oh yeah, okay. All right, we'll give you that.
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
No, Louie, don't.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
Yeah, Louie, fill your boots, man. I don't. Well, finally today on the big show. Finally, thank God, finally.
Yes.
Yes, it's true, and it's the end of the show because, damn it, I said so, and I'm out of frickin' coffee. Well, how about a British teen accused of a plot to commit a college massacre? That's always fun. The story comes to us from the London Associated Press today. A British teenager planned a gun and bomb attack on a college that had kicked him out for bad behavior, the prosecutor said today. Liam Libbard, 19 years old, on trial for allegedly amassing an arsenal to target Newcastle College in northern England. He was expelled back in 2012 for being disruptive in class. Prosecutor Nick Dry told jurors at Newcastle Crown Court that the file recovered from Leonard's computer titled Newcastle College said, quote, "You ruined my whole life. I will teach you a lesson on respect with my 9mm hollow points." Period. And that's what you really got to love about the fine, upstanding white British terrorists. Is that their quotes,
Yes.
their quotes are so much more, I don't know, easy on the ears. They're nice to listen to instead of, "I ain't going and fix that baby, yo, the bitchin' families, you know how they get." Well, it also said that, quote, "Yes, people will die. There's no question about that." Period.
Yeah.
Police computer expert Paul Wells says Libbard's laptop was used to access a, quote, dark web marketplace called Evolution. A user named Donald Trump paid for gun parts and ammunition with the online currency Bitcoin. You stupid idiot. Libbard was arrested November 3rd after police received a tip-off that someone alarmed by his Facebook posts. Dry said that Libbard told police he had planned a massacre, but also said that the plot was a fantasy he did not plan to carry out. Of course, what tipped him off on the Facebook posts,
yes,
he wasn't all staunch and polite British like he normally is. So that, of course, alerted some of his friends. "Oh, my God, he's being impolite." Yes, there it is. So, yes, it also said, yes, people will die, no question about that. And he was, he's showing impoliteness.
Yes.
So, Libbard has pleaded guilty to making pipe bombs and explosive devices and processing a 9mm Luger Glock gun, bullets, and CS gas. He denies possessing the items with intent to endanger life, just to use as paperweights. Well, I think if Jenny can get it right, that's about it.
Yes.
Yeah? Can she? There she goes. That's right. The one, the only Jenny McCartney in the booth, pushing the buttons, making us go. Got it right. Ladies and gentlemen, can I get an amen?
I want to thank the one, the only director, Academy Award nominated director extraordinaire, Louis Lawless, for being here today, sir. Greatly appreciated it, and it was great having you. Yeah.
He called me, and he called me. And he kept calling me, and I wouldn't answer the phone. Yeah.
He means that with love. Also, Gilbert, thank you for being here again today.
Thank you for listening, and support the show for the love of God.
And do the social media plug, because I just don't wanna.
Don't forget to follow us on our Facebook page, on Twitter, and on Instagram.
That was very well done. Thank you. Well, and all the listeners out there at HTLA's Coffee and Cigarettes, thanks for listening today. Have yourself one hell of a great Friday night and an absolutely sensational weekend. Once again, thank you to Frankie McDonald for that great weekend weather report. Well, thanks to him, of course, we can go out there, confident with the knowledge that yes. It's going to be great weather, and don't forget your rubber boots and your raincoat.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawless.
Yeah, we'll get that out to you before Monday. I promise. So to all of you out there, have a great day, great weekend, whatever it may be to you. And hey, don't forget to stop by NewYorksBestTalk.com for all of HTLA's wholesome goodness. We'll catch you all later. Have a great weekend, and see you Monday Mocha, 5 p.m. Eastern.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.